Hello and welcome again to one of the English lessons that we have here, and welcome to my channel, Dr. English. Today's lesson is about to and enough. To and enough. Actually, to has different meanings, but the basic meaning of to is very, right? To the extent that sometimes it becomes extremely, like very much. All right. Sometimes it becomes negative. Of course, to I know, you might encounter some or might have seen some, let's say, structures in which you see to, like kind of, to show agreement with the other people or their ideas. For example, somebody says, "I like that movie," and you say, "I like that movie too," right? That's another story, and hopefully we'll deal with that too. And one of the lessons we talk about it and develop the subject area around it, and then see how it works and how English people say or use that, let's say, positive structures or the agreement with those positive structures, and how they disagree, for example, with someone. But that's another story. All right, that's a different kettle of fish. But now what we are focusing on is to in the negative sense. Usually it implies a negative connotation, although it looks positive. The structure, as you can see, there is no, not, never. You don't see that. But the meaning is negative. Be careful. The meaning is negative. It's the opposite of enough. Enough means adequate. It's positive. The meaning is positive, or at least the implication of this structure is positive, unless you put or you use something like never or not in it. That's another story again. All right? Well, let's see how it is used. Normally, in English, when we want to talk about negative, let's say, connotations or something in the negative sense, we use sometimes this form of or this structure like this. Like, for example, imagine the tea is so hot and you just took it from the kettle, which was boiling. All right, you use a tea bag or you brew your or make your tea, and then it is so hot or it's too hot, right? It's too hot. To plus adjective, hot, right? Too hot. Too hot. Then we can use for plus object. Of course, I put it in pair of parentheses, and it means it's optional. You can easily use it or avoid using it, right? So it's too hot to drink. It's too hot up to here. The sentence is complete. The meaning is complete. So it's too hot. It's too hot. Everybody understands you're not going to drink that tea, right? That cup of tea. So it's too hot. If you want to continue and clarify who's talking or which one is hot or too hot for whom, you say for me, for her, for him, for them, right? But you say for me. It's too hot for me. This is the object, for me. Then infinitive, right? Then infinitive. Infinitive means the basic form of the verb with to, right? Like to go, to buy, to drink, to go, to walk, to eat, right? To do things. So too hot for me to drink. This tea is too hot for me to drink. What does it mean? Well, actually, it means it's very hot and I can't drink it. This tea is very hot and I can't drink it. That's the meaning. That's the true, basic, deep meaning of this structure. So you say it's very hot and I can't drink it. Here, I put not. So everybody understands I'm negative about it. I'm not going to drink it, right? So it's very hot and I can't drink it. Or, in other words, it's so hot. This is another structure then. It's so hot. Instead of to, we use so. Then adjective, just like hot. Too hot or so hot that we use a that structure, a that clause, actually. In grammar, they call it that clause. That I can't drink it. It looks just like a sentence. A clause looks just like a sentence. That I can't drink it. Right? It's so hot that I can't drink it. Again, we see not here. So it shows, it implies, it explicitly says this sentence, the meaning is negative, right? But here, you don't see any never, not any negative signs, any negative words. We don't see any. We don't use any. But the meaning is implied negatively, right? Well, another example would be, it's too far. For example, you want to walk somewhere, but it's too far. So you don't walk, or you can't walk there, right? So it's too far to walk, or it's too far for me, for her to walk, for example, right? To walk. You can also continue the sentence, to walk there. Okay? It's too far for me to walk. So obviously, you can use either of these two sentences, or you can use the so structure. Here we use the to structure. You can use the so structure. So plus adjective plus that clause. So that's different from the to structure. Okay? So it's to plus adjective, another clause. For object, infinitive. Of course, I put the rest of it in parentheses. It means that it's optional. You can finish the sentence right there after the adjective, like it's too hot, that's it. Okay, the meaning is somehow complete, the sentence is okay. But now, let's shift to enough. Enough. Well, just like to, well, we use an adjective, but we use an adjective after to. Look, the position, the place of adjective comes after to. But here, adjective comes before enough. Right? The meaning is not negative, one difference. The place of adjective is different again. So there are two differences now, right? Up to now. All right, now let's see. And after that, you can use infinitive. Just like that, you can also use for plus object, but it's not quite normal. It's okay if you just leave it at that. So my example with the same idea, the tea, this tea is cold enough to drink. Now, it's cold enough to drink. Now, because you let the tea, actually sit there on the table or on the desk, and then after a while, it's becoming cold enough. It's becoming cold enough, right, for you to drink. So this tea is cold enough. Cold. The adjective, enough, infinitive. Cold enough to drink, right? Another good example would be, I'm tall enough to touch the ceiling or reach for the ceiling, right? Reach the ceiling or reach for the ceiling or touch the ceiling. Let me change this to touch. Maybe it's a little bit more tangible to touch the ceiling, right? So I'm tall enough to touch the ceiling, right? So that's the whole structures we use with enough and to, all right? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up.